7 ways to outsmart a woman playing games with you. You ever get a feeling that a girl's just not really in the interaction? She's just toying with it. 1 minute she's sweet and flirty, the next she's cold and distant. She cancels plans, she sends mixed signals and acts hot and cold. It's almost like she's just doing it to see how you react. And most guys, they fall right into the trap. They try harder, they get nicer, they chase more, and in doing that, they hand over all the power. But here's the thing. Every game she plays has a counter. And when you know what you're doing, you don't just survive the game, you flip it and make her play by your rules. In this video, I'm gonna show you 7 ways to outsmart a woman playing games with you without ever losing your cool. Hi, I'm Bobby Rio, and I wanna tell you a little story about a guy that we've probably all been at some point. So picture this. You meet a girl, things are going great, you're texting, you're flirting, you got that dumb little smirk on your face every time she messages you. She's sending smiley faces with hearts around it, and now you're on Google. Is that emoji mean she's fallen in love with me? You're already mentally deleting your dating apps. Meanwhile, she's disappearing like a magician. One day she's blowing up your phone, the next day radio silence, and then boom, you get a "Hey stranger" text out of nowhere, like you're the one who vanished, and now you're just losing it, right? You're like pacing around your apartment like a coked up detective trying to piece together a conspiracy. Wait, she said she had a work thing Thursday, but she posted a story with wine glasses and fairy lights. That's not a work thing, is it? You're going crazy. We've all been there. And it's not because she's evil, but because she's playing a game and you don't even know the rules. And the worst part, you think being nice is gonna fix it. Like you're gonna send the right text that makes her go, you know what? I have been playing games, but your emotional vulnerability really turned it around. Let's be exclusive. Nope. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through exactly what to do when she starts pulling this stuff. Not to punish her, not to get revenge, but to flip the script. So you're not the one dancing for her attention. So let's get into it. Number 1, stop rewarding bad behavior. So let's talk about one of the most common traps I see guys fall into. She cancels a date last minute, or she doesn't respond to your text for 2 days, or acts like you don't even exist. And what do most guys do? They come crawling back like they're the ones who screwed up. Okay, no worries, hope everything's okay. Want to reschedule? I'm free literally every day for the rest of my life. It's like she left you on red, flaked on your plans, and you respond like you just keyed her car and now you're begging for forgiveness. Guys don't even realize they're doing it. They think I'm just being understanding. I'm showing that I'm easygoing or chill. No. You're reinforcing her behavior. You're training her like a dog, but instead of giving her a treat for sitting, you're tossing her a steak every time she pees on your rug. And the kicker is, she knows what she's doing. Women are hyper aware of this stuff. She wants to see if I break the plans, if I pull back a little bit, if I disappear for a little bit, will he chase harder? Will he start auditioning again? Because once you start rewarding bad behavior, that becomes the dynamic. She pulls back, you chase. She treats you like an afterthought, you reward her with more attention. It's backwards. So here's what you gotta do instead. The second she pulls that flaky nonsense, canceling plans, that slow fade, acting like texting you back is a chore, you match her energy or you pull back even more. Now, I'm gonna tell you the right way to do this in a minute, but for now, just know that if she cancels, no big deal. Don't get angry, don't get emotional, just say all good, was double booked anyway. And don't offer to reschedule. She doesn't text you back for a day, wait 2 before replying. And when you do, be brief. Don't reward her delay with a friggin' novel. What you're doing here is you're removing the reward. You're creating space. And in that space, she starts wondering, wait, did I overplay my hand? You're showing her without saying a word that if she wants your time, she has to respect it. You're flipping the frame from I'm just happy to be here to I've got options and I don't chase people who don't value my time. So next is get comfortable in the gray area and thrive on tension. Let me guess. You're texting with a woman. Things are going well. She's flirty 1 minute, then goes quiet the next, and you start wondering, did I say something wrong? Is she losing interest? And before you know it, you're pacing around like a guy waiting for a jury verdict. Was it something I said in the second paragraph of that text, right? I used a winky face. Should I have used a different emoji? What does it mean, Carol? Here's what's really going on. you're uncomfortable in the gray area. It's that space between she's obviously into me and it's clearly over. And because that uncertainty of where in that space you fit, it drives you nuts and you start going crazy trying to fix it. You send another message, you ask where you stand, you try to force clarity. And the moment you do that, you kill the tension and the attraction. See, the gray area is actually where attraction lives. It's the uncertainty that keeps her coming back. It's the, does he like me as much as I like him loop that plays in her head when she's falling asleep at night. But most guys can't handle this. They want guarantees, they want labels, they want clarity, because sitting in this unknown feels like emotional torture. If I knew she was into me, I could just move on, but what if she's just busy, right? Like, you don't know. Bro, even if she is, lean into it. Let the tension build. So here's what you do. When you feel that itch to do something, don't. Let the silence sit. Let her be the one wondering, did I mess up? Let her chase a little. You've got to flip your mindset from how do I get out of this uncomfortable feeling to how long can I stay in it without flinching? That's power. A woman feels it when you don't need the outcome nailed down. When you're cool whether she texts or she doesn't text, when you're not emotionally spiraling just because she took 5 hours to respond, that tension, that unknown, that's where the fire comes from. She doesn't fall for the guy who instantly makes her feel safe and certain. She falls for the guy who gives her butterflies and keeps her guessing. So stop trying to solve the gray area and start living in it. Hell, build a summer home in it, because once you're comfortable there, she'll feel it. All right, number 3, recognize and pass her tests. All right, so let's talk about one of the biggest aha moments guys have when they finally start to understand this invisible game. She's not being difficult. She's testing you. That sarcastic jab, that last minute plan change, that comment like, you probably say that to all the girls. Yeah, it's not random. It's not her being mean. It's her seeing if your frame holds when she gives it a little shake. And most guys, they fail the test before they even realize it's happening. She says, wow, you're pretty confident for someone under 6 feet. And instead of smirking and like rolling your eyes, or you launch into a defense attorney monologue. Well, actually, average male height is 5'9", and a lot of women don't even notice. It's like, no, man, stop. She's poking to see if you flinch. Not because she hates you, but because she's wired to want a man who doesn't get rattled. And when you do get rattled, when you start explaining yourself, defending, justifying, you just confirmed what she suspected. Okay, this guy's pretending to be confident. But deep down, he's just hoping I like him, which fails the test. So here's what you got to do instead. Step 1, reframe everything as a test. If she throws you a little jab or a challenge, don't react emotionally. See it for what it is. She's checking if I'm solid. Step 2, respond in a way that keeps you in the lead. She says, you're such a player. You say, yeah, it's exhausting keeping track of all 17 girlfriends. And then move on, smirk and move on. She says, you'd look better without a beard. You say, yeah, but then I'd look 19 and I'd have to start dating college girls again. It's not about being a smartass. It's about showing her that you're unshaken. She's testing your reality, so hold it. She's saying, can I shake your confidence? And you're saying, cute try, but no. The moment you start passing those tests with calm, playful confidence, she starts seeing you as the kind of guy who can lead her, who isn't easily rattled, who doesn't need to impress because he knows he's the prize. Okay, number 4, being playfully aloof. So this goes back to what I talked about when I was talking about stop rewarding bad behavior, and I want to clear something up. Being distant and cold is not attractive. That's not what matching her energy means. A lot of guys hear advice like, don't chase back or pull back, and they think the answer is to go into full ghost mode, and suddenly they're texting her like a serial killer. One-word replies, no emojis, no punctuation. She says LOL, and you respond with, okay. Bro, you're not being a mystery, you're being a buzzkill. Here's the real move. You stay aloof, but you keep it playful. If she's pulling back, don't go cold. Go playful and scarce. She delays her reply, you don't match her with endless like 3 dots and just, you send something cheeky like, thought you got kidnapped, I was about to alert Liam Neeson. And then you disappear for a while. Or you keep it brief but still fun. Her, hey you. I was just telling someone how you peaked in middle school. Good timing. The point is, she can feel that you're still having fun, but you're not sitting around craving her approval. You're not over-investing, but you're also not being bitter. That balance is deadly. She thinks, wait, he's still joking around with me, but he's not chasing me. Is he losing interest or is he just that confident? That's exactly what you want, because here's the truth. When a woman feels like you're emotionally aloof, but you're still enjoying yourself, that's when she starts leaning in. She starts proving herself again. She brings the energy because you've made her feel she's earned it. And you did it without being cold, without being mean, just playfully hard to pin down. All right, number 5, enforce boundaries by enforcing them, not by threatening them. All right, a little real talk for a second. A lot of guys think they're setting boundaries when really they're just giving lectures that she's not even listening to. She flakes, they send a novel. Look, I really value honesty, and if you're not ready for something real, I need better communication. I deserve better, and it's like, dude, that's not a boundary. That's like a customer service complaint. Here's the truth. Strong boundaries don't need long explanations. They're not delivered with frustration, and they definitely don't end in, but it's okay this time. A boundary is something that you quietly act on. She disrespects your time, you don't chase to reschedule. She brings drama, you change the subject or you leave the conversation. She crosses a line, you don't warn her, you just step back and let her feel the shift. No fanfare, no temper tantrums, no dramatic exits. Like, if she starts testing you with disrespect, talking over you, teasing a little too hard, trying to start drama, you don't snap, you don't beg, you pause, you smile, and maybe you say something like, listen, I don't really do drama. You can bring it, but I'm not gonna catch it. And then you move on. She'll feel it because you're showing her you're not afraid to walk away from things that don't match your standards. And that's what women respect. Not the guy who talks tough, but the guy who quietly holds the line. All right, next one. Number 6, emotional autonomy. So let's break this down. If you want to outsmart a woman who's playing games, the number one skill you need, the number one internal trait you need is emotional autonomy. In other words, your mood does not depend on hers. But most guys, they turn into human barometers the minute they start liking a girl. She texts back fast, and you're walking around like you just won the lottery. She takes too long, and you're smiling, questioning your whole life. You're like staring at your phone like it holds the meaning of existence, waiting and waiting. I had a client once tell me that I was having a good day, and then she liked another guy's photo, and now I feel like shit. And I'm like, bro, your day is not ruined. Your boundaries are just weak. If a woman can flip your mood like a light switch, she will never respect you. Because deep down, she knows I can control this guy's emotions like a puppet. And when she knows that, game over. Here's what you got to do instead. You stay centered no matter what she does. If she pulls back, cool. You don't flinch. She tests you. She gets moody. She says something passive aggressive. You don't snap. You don't grovel. You don't explain. You just hold a line like a freaking mountain because your emotional state is not up for negotiation. You don't hand over the remote and let her control the volume. Look, this doesn't mean being a robot. You can care about her. You can be playful with her. But that sense of peace, that's yours. And once she feels that she can't knock you off that center, that you're not clinging to her reactions for your validation, now you're the one guy with gravity. You become the one that she starts orbiting around. And this is what flips the power dynamic in any game that she's trying to play. Because she starts to think, wait, why is this guy reacting? Why is he so calm? Does he even like me that much? Is he seeing somebody else? What's going on with this guy? That's emotional autonomy, right? You want her pacing around her apartment with the spreadsheet of, does he like me? Does he not like me, right? Like, that's a feminine thing. It's not masculine to be doing that. You want emotional autonomy. So number 7, becoming anti-fragile. And this one's not just a tip. It's a complete mindset overhaul. You want to outsmart a woman who's playing games, become the kind of man who gets stronger every time she tries. Most guys are fragile. She cancels plans, they sulk. She goes cold, they obsess. She chooses another guy over them, and they spiral into like, what did he have that I didn't have mode? And listen, I've been there. It's not weakness, it's conditioning. We've been taught that if something goes wrong with a woman, it means something's wrong with us. But here's the new rule. Everything she throws at you, it's fuel. She flakes on you, you don't chase, you level up. She ignores your message, you don't beg, you refocus your attention. She puts you in the maybe category, cool, let her. Because by the time she looks back, you've upgraded your wardrobe, you've doubled your focus, you've gotten better shape, and you stopped playing for her approval altogether. You know what breaks attraction faster than anything? A guy who breaks down under pressure. You know what builds it like wildfire? A guy who gets sharper every time she tests him. Start viewing every flake, every test, every rejection, every cold shoulder as resistance training for your masculinity. She pulls back, cool. Use that time to double down on your mission. She makes you feel like an afterthought. Let that sting drive your next level, not your next apology text. You don't get stronger by avoiding discomfort. You get stronger by leaning in and not folding. That's what anti-fragile means. Pressure doesn't break you, it forges you. So from now on, anytime a woman plays games, tests you, or makes you feel less than, don't internalize it, transmute it. Turn that frustration into focus, turn that doubt into discipline, turn that pullback into personal power. Because when you stop fearing her behavior and you start growing from it, the game doesn't just change with her, the game changes forever. So look, if you're gonna take nothing else from this video, remember this. Women don't stop playing games because you ask them to. They stop because they realize that you're not the kind of man they can play games with. And that shift, it doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you start living with status, when your value is obvious without having to say a word, when your charisma pulls people in instead of you chasing approval. Now, if you want to learn how to become that kind of man, the one women respect, pursue, and invest in emotionally, I put together a free online class that breaks it all down. The class is called The 3 Steps to Status, Value, and Power. And inside the class, I'll show you the hidden attitudes that flip the script instantly, how to develop natural authority in any social setting, and why most men are repelling women without even realizing it, how to communicate from a position of status and power, and how to build a reputation as a high status guy before a woman even talks to you for the first time. If you've ever felt like you were doing everything right, but still getting treated like a second option, this is what you've been missing. So there's a link in the description below. We hold the class several times a week. Again, it's completely free. So register now before you forget. There's no fluff, no games, just the exact blueprint to becoming the man that women don't test, they chase. Now, if you made it this far in the video, it means you probably liked the video. So do me a favor, hit the goddamn like button below and let me know, and leave me a comment below telling me which of these tips you're gonna use first. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, subscribe now so you don't miss future videos.